Hey YouTube, Anubis Black is back yet again to talk about the third installment in the handheld Nicktoons crossover game series, and today we'll be talking about another Nintendo DS title. Just like the other games, I have already played and reviewed the original console version, and I quite enjoyed it. I'd consider it to be my second or third favorite out of them all. I guess it just depends on how I feel that day. This time we shall see how it stacks up in comparison to the PS2 in terms of gameplay and some other elements. So today we have Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots DS, which came out on October 23, 2007, developed by Natsume and published by THQ once again. This version of the game, as well as the DS version of Globs of Doom, is remarkably different from the console. You see, on the PS2, this game mostly plays as a 2D platformer with light combat, special stages, and mech suit combat sections, while on the DS version, it is primarily a side-scrolling beat-em-up with minigame puzzles, vehicle sections, and actual boss battles this time. The main objective is still basically the same. You have to collect as many master models as you can while you progress through the stage, but now they're not really required to advance to the next level in order. The most valuable collectible in this game would have to be the bolts that you pick up from defeating enemies. They serve as health points for the mech suit and vehicle sections, and honestly at first I didn't think much of it, especially since each character controls about the same with a light and heavy attack combo that you spam over and over and over again. But as I continued playing through the game, I realized how genius this mechanic/combat system really was. Even though it kind of feels like you're just mindlessly punching enemies for a while, you actually have to consider collecting and holding on to as many bolts as you can. Because like I said, they are very necessary for the stage mech suit combat, the stage mini-boss, the vehicle section, and the boss battle at the end of each level. And don't get me wrong, I very much enjoyed the platforming challenges from the PS2 version, but here on the DS, it just expands upon the general concept of this game in a way that the PS2 sadly doesn't. In this one, you actually get to fight the Toybot replicas directly, you actually get to fight Calamitous, and you actually get to utilize the mech suit during the actual stages. It also helps that each boss battle is unique and actually presents a fair bit of challenge, which is great. I honestly love this version of the game even more than the console. Like, wow, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm genuinely shocked by how decent it was. If the developers had just combined the aspects of these two games together, I'm sure it would have been the best by a long shot. Also, I want to say that the designs and sprite work animation looks pretty great for this Nintendo DS game. Well, aside from Timmy's incorrectly colored pants, but it's okay, I guess. And despite the fact that most characters play about the same, with the only real difference being a focus on short or long-ranged attacks, there are quite a few playable characters here, and some of them are exclusive to this version only, like El Tigre and Mr. Blick, as well as an evil Danny and Spongegar from that prehistoric episode. How fucking cool is that? Seriously. I will say that the music is also pretty good. Not quite as good as the music from the PS2 version, mind you, but still pretty good. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and play a few seconds of my favorite track for y'all, just for the hell of it, because the soundtrack on the PS2 version is pretty damn good, so here you go. So yeah, all in all, this is a great handheld game. Natsume really knocked it out of the park with this one, if I'm being completely honest with you. I will definitely end up playing this game again at some point, and thankfully the studio returned to develop Globs of Doom DS as well, which is also a pretty good game in my opinion. I can't wait to talk more in depth about it next week. So, as I say all the time, thank you once again for watching another episode of Anubis Black, and I'll see you again in the next video. Alright, bye bye.